Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. So this is Star Wars Ahsoka, episode 6, season 1. I believe this is the episode where Thrawn shows up. So this is going to be very interesting. Get your timestamp to 0 on Disney Plus and press play now. Skip the recap or watch the recap if you want. I'm skipping it. If you skip the logo, the intro, you should be on Lucasfilm with Lucasfilm logo right now. I wanted to point out the fact that we have Thrawn in live action now. This makes me think about Empress KK's stupid comments. About there not being the source material and all that nonsense she was talking about for like months on end at these events and whatnot. Meanwhile, you had Roundhead Johnson and Jar Jar Abrams taking a dump on the original trilogy characters. Expecting fans to just go along with it, I guess. With the fact that they can't even get character like Luke Skywalker right on screen with the original actor, it's not a good sign. And then add to the fact that it hasn't been a Star Wars film on the big screen in 7 years. Now these TV shows, just in general, are just, I don't want to say lackluster, but I think some would know that they just dropped the ball on the potential ad that it didn't really live up to. I would say Kenobi is probably the biggest disappointment for me because it should have definitely been a Clone Wars flashback series. It didn't need a Reva early. There were like, what, 3 or 4 Inquisitors in that show? Didn't need them. Like, Reva's motivations made no sense. Just saying in general, there's so many shows, just feels like they clearly ran out of ideas of what to do. They know their shitty characters don't work. They don't resonate with the audience. So, like, you know what? How about we actually use that source material that someone said doesn't exist, and let's just slowly destroy the franchise even more. That's really all they did. Another thing I wanted to point out, I don't like the idea of Sabine being a Jedi. Just there's nothing wrong with being force sensitive, but there's nothing wrong with being force sensitive, but not everybody needs to be a Jedi. I just think the more people that they reveal to have the Force or Jedi powers and whatnot, it makes Luke less special. This is after Return of the Jedi, but since Sabine is not in the Disney Wars trilogy, I just felt like it was kind of pointless to reveal she's Force sensitive or whatever, because I never saw that much of this. I never saw that much of the Space Aladdin show, but No, she's a Mandalorian, but Mandalorians really aren't force sensitive. It's kind of rare that to happen. It's more common in the older public. Even then, not really. Like I know this gentleman Ray Stevens passed away, and his character being recast. I'm like, is that really necessary? Like, what did this guy do that makes him so important? So, I mean, no offense, but his design is kind of boring, and his character just, I don't know, it's kind of forgettable. Seems to be a common thing in Disney Wars. What did they do that makes him so special? He got to be recast. Like, why? It's like a regular dude. Couldn't give him the scar on his face or like made him an alien, something. Why would they do that? I also don't like this whole traveling to different galaxy thing because to me it kind of breaks Star Wars lore. The whole thing is in a galaxy far, far away. So how are we going to another galaxy? And there's only supposed to be one galaxy in Star Wars. And it's kind of hinted that there's some type of romantic thing between Sabine and Space Aladdin. Never got the impression of that in the cartoon. I do think that they took a little too long to get to Thrawn. I think they should have opened with what happened after he and Space Aladdin got pulled in to that wormhole with the space whales. Another ridiculous creation. Space whales. Gosh. So I think we're about to meet the other witches, and don't like the tone of this. Yeah, they are. Just as unnecessary. I don't think it really fits Star Wars. They're really trying to add so many different layers to the lore, which I'm here for the most part. But when it comes to like witches and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't need that. There's like another example of Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. When Marin and Cal defeat that crazy Jedi, she buries him underground alive. She's like, oh, let the darkness take him or something. Like, that's pretty freaking dark. It's not like she killed him and then buried him underground. She put him buried him alive. So I'm like, jeez. Thing is, overall, I would have preferred if she just stayed a Mandalorian. Nothing wrong with her being a Mandalorian. That's the character she was when she was introduced. That's how the character needs to stay. It's like Mando all of a sudden using a lightsaber and becoming a pro or something. Yeah, there was a Mandalorian Jedi back in the Old Republic. I believe it was Exar Kun. I haven't double checked, but I think it was Exar Kun who was a Mandalorian Jedi. Could be wrong, but that type of thing is extremely rare. This guy looks so boring. Hercule, I don't know why I couldn't just make them aliens or something. No, like the biggest crime to me in Disney Wars, besides just being a colossal failure, the lack of alien characters. It's kind of ridiculous. Could have easily made this guy a Deveronian or something. She could have been a Twi'lek or a Zabrak, a Thorian, Rhodian, something. Come on. I mean, they're not Sith, So that would basically make them dark Jedi in a way, I guess. I mean, that was a term from the expanding universe, so I don't know what it's called in Disney Wars, but since the Sith died with Darth Vader and the Emperor, main Dark Force users in the expanded universe are called Dark Jedi, Reborn, all that stuff. I kind of appreciate the fact she can't even use the Force that well. So at least there's that. You say they didn't make her like Ray or anything, but they can just pull Force power out of her ass. Ridiculous. And here it comes. Star Destroyer with Thrawn on board. Now, since these witches were obviously here, I want to know where Thrawn got all these soldiers from. That's the story I would have wanted to see. Kind of lost my mind when I first saw Thrawn walking out here. Then once I saw what they actually did to the character, I'm like, what have they done? Thrawn. Like the hype was crazy when Ahsoka was like, "Where's going down with Thrawn?" I'm like, Thrawn. Like, wait a second, I thought there was no source material. Where are you getting Thrawn from? I mean, it looks like Thrawn. I'm just like not entirely sure what they did to him character wise. Even if they did forget up his character, he does look pretty cool. It's kind of awesome seeing him live action, though. I'll admit that. But his characteristics are pretty much all wrong. It's been a number of years, though, since the EU, so some things would probably have to change about the character. But him being a strategist, Thrawn would never work with witches. So even Thrawn thinks this guy's a Jedi. I guess they're basically mercenaries. See, this I kind of like because there's no way Thrawn didn't know exactly where Space Aladdin was. And he even says to the Dark Jedi people, like, "Oh, she got a chance to find Bridger. And when she does, we'll destroy them both." Now, I just feel like that's not something Thrawn actually say. This feels like a mustache twirling villain type of thing. I think she ends up using a lightsaber at some point. I don't agree with it. And Ahsoka's not a Jedi either, so it makes even less sense for her to be training her. I guess in a way, but like I was kind of confused when Sabine called her master. I'm like, master? Since when? Ahsoka ain't no Jedi anymore. Man, it's been a while since I've read about Thrawn in the books. I haven't read it. Haven't read the Thrawn trilogy in a number of years. Still, there is something off about the way it's characterized in this. Kind of wonder if they should just do a Thrawn series, either before or after Ahsoka season two. There's something I noticed with this is that they're slowly trying to change what it means to be a Jedi. Because when anybody can just pick up a lightsaber like her and just start swinging it around, the actual meaning of being Jedi just doesn't really mean as much anymore. And I think this problem started with Disney War 7 when Ray pulled the mind trick out of thin air and freaking mastered it overnight. Ever since then, everybody and anybody's been able to use the freaking Force out of nowhere. It's like one thing I kind of like is that he basically lured all of his potential enemies away from his ship, and still no signs of Ahsoka, the main character of the show. Very interesting. From what I understand, the end of this season, Ahsoka and Sabine are basically stranded out here. So I'm like, for season two, what exactly are they planning to do? I wonder. Besides bringing in legacy characters again, because they have no faith in Ahsoka on her own. Oh, look, more little weird creatures. At least they're not teddy bears. I figured Space Line was on the planet. Like I know Thrawn, he probably knew exactly where he was all the time. I mean, I do like that he actually basically moved everybody away from the ship. So by the time they get there, he's ready to blast off. I don't think Ahsoka's even in this episode. I was afraid they're going to try to redeem this chick. Yeah, I think this took way too long to get to the point. This episode could have been chopped in half. This is kind of absurd. Not as boring as like Andor guy or nothing, but I don't know what it is about these damn shows. It's like everything just seems to drag on for some reason. It's like get to the bloody point. Pretty good casting for a space Aladdin. I couldn't stand him as a kid in the cartoon. I like that they finally had him mature and grow up from this. And for a minute, I thought he was actually working with Thrawn for some reason. It just felt a little too convenient that he just happened to be out here. I know Thrawn knows where he is, so So overall, not a bad introduction to Thrawn in live action. I think they really missed the mark on the character. I really wanted to like this version of the character. I want to see more. I want to give it a shot if the writing gets better. I just think that they took way too long to get to Thrawn in this. I think they should have opened the series with immediately with what happened after the Space Aladdin show when he got pulled into that wormhole with Space Aladdin. That's how the show should have opened because like so the worst going down with Thrawn, and it would take 6 episodes to get to Thrawn. Seriously, pathetic.